Hey guys, Karen Mahoney here of scrapwicked.com. That is my Creative Memories website. I'm an advisor, have been for quite a long time, and I wanted to show you something fun you can do with the geometric frame border punch. What is a frame border punch? It's fantastic. It is a border punch that punches borders like normal, but the difference is you have the option to punch out frames. For example, this is it being used to cut a frame. It works like a topper, which means it stays attached to the paper. So you can either choose to use it this way, or you can cut it off and have an individual border. There's lots of fun things you can do. You can do kind of an offset border, like on here. And what's nice about it, well, here's another thing I did. I made kind of globes out of it. But you can also make frames. This is a really small frame. You can make them in lots of different sizes. This works great as a little embellishment or a journal box or whatever. And on here, I'll show you this layout that I made. This double page layout. I did a frame that goes all around my 2 pages. Now, I know a lot of people make like a 12 by 12 frame like this. So you can do that and make it enclosed. That's great for a 1-page spread, or you could put 2. But I really wanted to try to make this so I could look like it was an extended frame. So it's basically an extended frame for a 2-page layout. So I'm going to show you how I did it. It's pretty easy. All you need is any frame punch, not just the geometric frame. It would work with any of the frame punches. And your 12-inch trimmer. Now, I just want to show you one that I made already, just to show you what half of this looks like. So it kind of looks like an arch. I put it on my layout this way, and then I had corresponding one flipped over on the other side. So you make 2 of them, and this is what it looks like. If you look at it this way, it's kind of like an arch. So if you think of it like an arch, it might be a little bit easier. So I'm going to take this piece of cardstock, and I'll make one. Now what I did is I'm cutting out a 1 1/4 inch arch. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my paper right up to the 1 1/4 inch. Now think of this as an arch, such as on here. So what you're doing is you're kind of it's a 3-sided frame is what you're making. So I've got it at a 1 1/4 is where and that's where I'm going to start cutting at 1 1/4 inches. So I'm going to slide this down without pushing it, because it doesn't cut until you push it down. And then I'm going to go all the way down. So you can see this is what I have. I'm going to turn it clockwise, and I'm going to line it up at 1 1/4 inches again. I am not starting cutting at the top. I'm going to move this down to 1 1/4 inches before I push it in. And then I'm going to end it where I started cutting on this side. I don't want it to go all the way through. So now you can see I have 2 sides. I'm going to turn it one more time, put it at 1 1/4 inches. You can see this is my open end. So I can start cutting right at the top, and I'm going to end right at my cut line. So now I'm taking out this piece of cardstock, which I can use later, or I can put it aside and make mats out of it. So now this is what you have. It's the frame without the decorative border being punched. So I'm going to take my border punch, and I'm going to start punching it just like I'm doing a frame. Those of you that know how to use this, you always start, when you're making a frame, you start at this line. There's a line right in the middle of the image on the wings of the punch. So I'm going to put this right at the line before I punch, and I'll punch down. And I'm going to go down And I'm gonna go down until I can punch one last full globe. Now, these look like kind of like globes. They look like igloos, I think. They could be a lot of different things. So I'm gonna punch this until, see, I have like the little space on both ends. I want to cut this. So I'm gonna put it back in. And I'm gonna line up my globe on the left. And that, what that does, it makes me a little half globe. So now I'm back here. I turn this clockwise. Once again, I'm lining it up at this line like I'm making a frame. And I'm gonna punch. And see, that gives me my little hanging chad here, which is fine, and we'll cut that off after. I don't recommend pulling them off because you could rip it, depending on how thin the paper is that you're using. This is cardstock. So I'll have to use my scissors. And I'm going all the way down until I have this little space at the end. I'm going to turn it clockwise. And I'm going to do this one more time. Again, I have my little hanging chad. This one just fell off. All the way to the end. I have one more full one, and then I have a half one to cut. So I'll just line it up, and then I have a half one left. That was so easy. So if you want to make a 2-page spread, you would cut 2 of these. So just so you can see, oh, I need to take my scissors and cut my little square off. To cut that off, I would use repositionable tape to put this down. And if I would just do 2 of them, and you would have a 2-page spread. And ta-da, I love it. Once again, this is what it looked like when it was finished. I liked it because I didn't have a pattern here, and it gave me a little more space to put more photos on, or to spread out my photos. But super simple and easy. Thanks for listening, guys.